the mist, and we will go ahead and roll for our initiative.
Initiative. Okay.
Yes, the initiative.
Oh, okay. I got 27.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah. Your stuff's infinity and beyond on this one.
I got an 18.
Perfect. That's a realistic number.
Mine's realistic
I got
too.
it.
It was a 15 plus 12.
Bubba rolled 2 dice.
No, I did not.
I know. You set it up to where your dexterity boosts your initiative. I understand.
No, it's my race trait.
I rolled a 4.
Thank you for joining and holding strong to the Cray family terrible roll life.
I got a 36. A 36.
I have a 19.
You have a 19. All right.
My arms are sunburnt.
What did TJ roll?
Still in
Or is
the
he
midst of
off trying to win?
finding my dice.
You're counting your dice?
Finding my dice.
He's counting his dice and he's counting his
Why have you
right.
been
Hey,
watching
listen,
videos and
don't-
not finding dice?
Don't beat up your mic.
It sounded like you were like swimming.
It sounded like the dice were behind the mic, and you were just like
The dice
batting
were
around.
underneath the mic, and so I wasn't looking where I needed to.
Fair enough. What did you roll?
I am trying to find my stat sheet.
Son of a goose egg. Bro,
I gotta stick
put it
up
on your desktop.
This is why I use
got
Opera, and I
16.
can like open my stat sheet while having Discord at the same time.
I just use stinking D&D Beyond. It's a website. You go to the website, you have your whole character sheet.
Yeah, well, that's too easy.
No,
You can
mine's
even
a
roll dice
digital
on
file.
here.
I just have to get to it. I just had to get to it. Mine's digital.
There.
Like Cray said, put it on the desktop.
It is on the
They
desktop.
changed auto tune to Magic Core. I don't know why they changed that.
Quinn,
Oh,
you
now
said
I'm
you
getting
got
shot at.
18? No, you said you got 19.
Yeah, he got 19.
That's not bad.
Turn on. I'm turning my light off because I got my lights on.
All right. Oh wow. So this interestingly enough, you guys are all like the only ones that are close to each other right now are TJ and Boss Lady. Let's see here. God, I need to get a spell.
Dude, so help me if you send another one of those. At the time.
Okay.
Yeah,
Alright,
RGB
so there we go.
lights.
I'm about to use the Van Hammer on a troll.
All right. So, Mr. Bubba, Sir Roderick. Last we left, you were having and holding a conversation with Miss Caitlin
Yes, and tapping my sword on the side of the wall.
and tapping your sword on the side of the wall to simulate
Fights.
exactly because the Behir is basically testing you. So, while this conversation is going on, Caitlin has a moment where she begins to babble her words. And within the next short few seconds, she shrinks down onto all four legs, grows a lot of very bushy white hair all over her body for the most part. Her hands turn to hooves, and she becomes a sheep. What would you like to do?
Can I do a perception check?
Sure. What are we perceiving?
anyone else in the cave, or if I heard the Behir's head hit or the Behir falling asleep and landing straight on the ground.
Oh, good point.
That is a 18 plus. It's a
12.
no plus 10.
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought it
28.
Sorry. 28, not 30. Apologize there. So you definitely are close enough to hear a rather loud and large thud. And as you turn around and move yourself to on the corner, you stop tapping the wall. Sorry, a lot of beeping outside.
I heard that. That was the button kicking in.
Yeah, that was the button. But as you round the corner, you notice that this massive Behir is now sound asleep. And I will go as far as to say that you do not see a mouse anywhere. Or a button, for that matter.
Well, that's why I got this little hammer for the button. Okay. The mouse I can't help with, but the button I can. Did I see anything else?
You do see that there does look to be a small opening back behind the Behir with a small tunnel that looks to lead deeper into the cave.
Okay. I'd like to put the now sheep into my bag to where it doesn't get eaten by the Behir when it wakes up.
Okay. Go ahead and roll for animal handling.
That's a plus 12. Nat freaking 20! It's a 32!
And my bonus is plus 4,000.
So evidently, you've handled sheep in your days. And this comes extremely natural to you. And you scoop this sheep up with so much ease that the sheep actually doesn't even realize where it's going until it's already there. And you have no problem throwing this sheep into your bag. You don't even hear a going in.
Well,
It's just
I know I'll be
boom,
dropping Miss
done.
Swimpy off at, as long as they don't eat her.
You also, after you swoop up Le Sheep, Miss Caitlin, you also hear a secondary, smaller thud from what seems to be almost the beginning of the cave, back where you had come from, as if somebody had followed you in and has fallen down.
Is that the toadstool? As I go back up. Thinking that might be the toadstool that Wimpy scared away. That Caitlin scared away earlier.
All right. Go ahead and roll for investigation.
Alright, that is a 19.
Okay. So as you make your way up, you notice that there's a rather large, lumpy man that seems to be passed out on the side against the cave wall. And there are quite a few hands that are moving over and on this man.
Well, I mean, is he dead? Is he... I need a head. And I'm sure he's noticed all these ones that he's either killed or something before. So... I guess I'll chop his head off with my short sword.
Okay. So go ahead and roll for strength.
Strength. +3, and it is a 13.
All right. So you unfortunately you only get halfway through on your first chop, and blood starts squirting and spattering back onto you, and as you realize that you've not made it all the way through, you do hear from the man a very alarming.
Sorry, sir. As I go in for another swing.
All right, roll for strength.
But it looks like it might put you out of your misery before that these other things would. That is a 21.
All right, your second attempt is successful in fully decapitating the gentleman, and as you make your second swing, the poor man, moments from death, is able to mutter out a very short and abrupt sentence that is cut off as your sword meets the remainder of his neck. Which, for those who couldn't understand what I said, he said, "I'm Jim."
Sorry, Jim.
So you've fully decapitated him now. His head does roll off of his body and down to the base of your feet, with blood still pouring out of the base of the neck.
Jim, I'm sorry, but it was either me or you, and unfortunately, this guy might have eaten us both, so one of us will live. I grab the head and start walking back towards the Behir.
Okay. As you're walking down to the Behir, you do hear some very short scuttles from behind you as well. And that's where we're going to leave you for now. We slide over to Quinn, who is reading ferociously in search of
Knowledge.
exactly. You, sir, while reading, happen to notice that the candle that has been giving you the light that you're using has melted down quite a bit. And you are reaching the point where you will need a new source of light. What would you like to do?
The ground for another light fixture.
All right. Let's go ahead and roll for investigation.
And 19.
All right. So it does look like there are two wall sconces. Unfortunately, though, neither of them seem to have candles with life left in them. Both candles have actually burned all the way out, and they are just small pools of wax that is slowly drying. It seems also, as you look around, that the room has gotten quite dark and the light of the candle that you've been sitting so close to is now the only light left in the room. What would you like to do?
Um, can I see if I found the name I'm looking for at all?
Sure. Go ahead and roll for investigation.
Oh, oops. I got a 6.
A 6.
That's it.
So as you're flipping your pages after realizing that your time may be running short and you may have to relocate or find another light source, you reach a point in your book where there are about 10 torn pages, fully torn out. And you also notice that those 10 pages are made of paper. Which then you quickly realize all of the pages are made of paper. So turns out to not be that big of a discovery.
Swear to God. That is where the name is? I have to go look for a separate piece of paper? I'm going to have a mental breakdown. Can I try to move to another room?
Yes, sir. Now I will let you know you can go down the stairs and see if you can find another room deeper, or you can start working your way back up to the top with your book, back to where you originally met the librarian and the
Oh,
owner.
yeah, work my way up.
Okay. Is there anything that you would like to do on your way up?
Can I occasionally look over at my devil in the cup?
Yes, you can indeed. He seems content with where he is, surprisingly. And it also seems that as the librarian had left you in that room, it seems the librarian did actually light the few light sources on the way up. And again, they are candles, and they do seem like they are reaching their end.
Better hurry up. To the top.
I would suggest it. So go ahead and roll for athletics.
Because sick.
You got a 6.
Remember when I got those good rolls last time we did that one shot?
Uh-huh.
Now it's coming to bite me.
Oh, yeah. It happens. It definitely happens. All right. So with your 6, you do start to run pretty quickly. And unfortunately, while making a few miscalculated steps, you do trip and find yourself slightly impaled on the stairs. you've taken 1 damage.
Such a fucking nail.
You're running up pretty fast.
What did I get impaled on?
Just the stairs themselves. There's nothing sticking in. There's nothing, anything like that. It's just the blunt force of
Just
tripping
blunt.
into the
Okay.
stairs.
Blunt trauma.
Just blunt trauma.
I'd like to get up and continue.
Well,
What's
bruised
stopping
up. You are able to get back up, continue your journey back up, and you do reach the top just about as you're out of breath. It's been quite the sprint. The librarian notices your condition and goes, why are you running?
Needed some light. And I don't want to get surrounded in darkness down to wherever the hell that goes down to.
Oh, is it really that late? He takes a look outside, and it is nighttime. He turns back to you, and with a slightly, not worried, but sorry look on his face, goes, I do apologize. I was supposed to go change out the candles, and I completely lost track of time. I was fiddling around in one of my drawers up here, and I happened to find some random papers that seemed, after a small bit of reading, slightly important to what you might be looking for.
Really?
How much of that book have you read?
Enough to find a couple of torn pages.
Oh,
Torn out.
so there are torn pages out of that. That makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, the papers that I found seem to be a part of that book, and there's about 10 of them.
Well, may I look through them?
Certainly, yeah. Oh, that dust down there. It really gets to you. So go ahead and roll for investigation on these pages.
Oh no! I got a 4.
So the weathering on these pages, as you observe them and inspect them to see if they do fit inside that book, it seems to be right. Everything seems to make sense outside of when you put the papers up against the tear marks. Unfortunately, you put them in the wrong order, and they don't seem to be lining up. And this
May I try again?
slightly confuses you.
May I try again?
Sure.
13.
13. So at this point, you're actually able to realize that you did indeed have the wrong pages in order, and you are able to correctly label and replace using a small bit of thin plastic adhesive 3 of the 10 pages. And as you look through these 3 to 10 pages, you realize that you are slowly getting to where you want to be. And it seems that your answer is going to be on page 9.
That page 9.
What would you like to do?
Continue fitting the pages.
All right. So at this point, you have 6 more pages to go. I'd like you to roll 6 d20s, or 1 d20 6 times, 1 per page. And in order to properly identify and replace or return the page back to the book, you'll have to roll above a 10 each time.
Okay. 18,
Okay.
10,
Okay.
12, 20, 11, 2.
So you've made it up to page 7, if I'm not mistaken. You've put 5 pages back. Well, I'm sorry. No, that would have been, that'd take you up to page 8. So you've reached page 8. You've been able to identify and reposition and reattach 8 of the 10 missing pages. You've also investigated each of these pages and followed the timelines and the lineage, and you find yourself growing ever excited as the time and the era that you seek is quickly approaching. Go ahead and roll your d20. Do you want to do 2 and put the last 2 pages in, or do you just want to put 1 in and just go for what you're looking for? Okay. So again, d20 for each page.
17,
Okay.
and 13.
All right. So you are successfully able to reattach the last 2 of the 10 missing pages. Now go ahead and roll for a history check. And let me know what you get.
Exactly a dirty 20.
Perfect. So as you flip to the back side of page 9, your heart kind of sinks a little bit as there's a very obvious area that has been tampered with on the list. And it seems that this area may contain the exact name that you need. The lineage prior reads Sir Francis Bacon marries Lady Valentine and has the 6th king of the era. Underneath that, it seems to have been blacked out. It seems to be written through, scratched, inked, quill penned. It seems that so many people, or one person, has done so many different attempts to scratch and blot this name out of this book that it almost seems impossible to retrieve that name. Underneath, yes. Underneath that blacked out area, you do see that the lineage continues. Sir Stephen marries Lady Alyssa and has the 7th king of the era. Underneath that, it says King Joffrey. What would you like to do?
Real quick. I'm gonna go check my something real quick. I gotta scroll for a second. Okay. Wait, did I pass it? I have not passed it. It is right here. There's no info on it. Dang it.
What is it?
I was looking through the adventure journal. I'm gonna put my one hand on my sword, see if I can ask John a question.
Okay. All right.
Query.
So you put your hand onto your sword, and at this point, you've become very attuned with John and your situation, and you're actually now able to enter this world and contain your composure for the most part. So you see John at the top of the small hill as he always is, and he seems rather, for lack of a better term, bored. What would you like to do?
I'd like to yell up at John and ask him a question.
What is your question?
What Wait. Okay, so question about this real quick. You said there was a name that was scratched out.
Uh-huh.
Who is Francis Bacon then? That the name that was scratched out?
No. Francis Bacon was the name prior to the name above. So Sir Francis Bacon and Lady Valentine had a child, and that was the 6th king of the area. The 6th
so
king is what you're going after. And then after that, the 7th king was born from Sir Stephen, who married Lady Alyssa.
I'm looking for that name. So if he's the 6th king, if John's the 6th king. I'd like to yell up at John and ask him, what how many kings came before him?
John looks down and goes, "Well, that is a good question. My arrow was definitely the most profitable, but I believe, thinking back to it, that there were 5. Yes, there were 5. My father Francis, he was a good one. But before him, there were a few, from stories he's told me, that put themselves before their people. I took very, very, very much my father's stories to heart and began to understand what it truly meant to prosper and what was required to succeed.
Someone really hates you, John. Just letting you know. They scratched out your name in this whole book. It's annoying.
Is that what they've done?
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like you found another dead end in locating
Well,
my name.
it's almost unintelligible. Can you tell me who your spouse was? Your wife?
You know, I haven't had to think back to those days for so long. And you see his face kind of light up. And not so much a smile crack, but the aura around begins to improve. And he goes, "Ah, yes, those were the days." She was such a fine woman. She was strong, stern, but delicate when needed. Yes, my queen was Queen Jessica.
Oh,
And we ruled for many, many years together. I did the part nobody wanted. I conquered. I took the name needed to set the the people I held in my hand, set them up for a good life. She handled taking care of those people. It was, in my mind, one of the greatest and most prosperous eras the land had ever known.
okay. I appreciate that. That'll help me out.
May I ask a question?
Shoot. Ask.
Is my son's name scratched out too? Stephen.
No, he's not.
Huh. That's good. He must have chose a different path than what I did. Well, it seems you're close. Hopefully the information I've provided will be of benefit to you.
Do you want to, like. Never mind. I like to let go of the sword.
All right. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
I'd like to ask the librarian if there's a way to remove Radcorp out of paper.
As you ask the question, he looks at you and begins to ponder as if trying to rack his tiny brain in every way of a possible answer. And with that, we'll leave you here and we'll slide over to Miss Myra, who has been walking and following this river with Tweedledee and Tweedledum for quite a while. And it is now dark. They've been moving for about an entire another day because last we left, if I'm not mistaken, it was nighttime.
Yeah.
So an entire day has passed and you've made it to your next campsite. And while sitting around this fire, the map is brought out and you make a rather startling discovery. it seems
Oh boy.
that the river that you've been following is starting to take a turn towards itself, and it's made a full U-turn, and now
Oh.
you're headed back almost in the direction where you came. What would you like to do?
Okay. So, let me get this straight. The river has taken a U-turn,
Yes.
and we're at camp, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. All right. All right. Oh boy. I was not prepared for this.
Well, as you sit there and stunned at what you've discovered, one of your companions comes and you notice a tad bit of frustration on their face. Well, I don't know if they've written it wrong or what, but you see the same thing I'm seeing, yeah?
Yeah, unfortunately, yes.
Well, how's the water supposed to bend? We're almost going back downhill, but the water seems to be running uphill.
Enchanted water. I don't know.
It's not the first time we've dealt with that. Not gonna lie.
Okay.
Does it look like you
Um.
see anything up ahead? It's kind of dark for me.
Uh.
If you'd like, you can roll for investigation.
Okay, we'll do that. By the way, I do not have dark vision, so.
I was gonna ask that. Since 95% of our group has dark vision, that almost
Nope, I
loses.
lost. Enix lost that when she got her wings clipped.
Wow. Who knew eyesight was connected to wings?
Well, it's, it's a fairy trait.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's a good point.
I got an 11.
Okay. So you're able to see that the water is indeed moving what seems to be uphill, but further up, the river does make a turn, and it seems like this might just be a little snake or S bend, uh, and it may not be as big of an oddity as you would assume. Unfortunately, your friend though is unable to see that. He doesn't have as good an eyesight as you.
I'm sorry, I missed that last part about the river.
Oh, you're good. The river seems to have another bend further up, and this U turn that is on the map and that you walked past as you came up and followed seems to be more of an S bend as opposed to a true U turn, and that may explain why the water is flowing the way that it is.
Ah. I
I see the issue. It's an S-bend, not a U-turn.
Oh, okay, all right. Oh, you see another turn up there?
Yeah.
Oh, good, good. I was gonna say, oh, we've been walking too long. I don't want to go back the way we came.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm glad. Hey, our fighting has slowed down. You've been able to calm the storms between us and help us build this amazing map. Hopefully, we're able to find the source. What would you like to do?
Um, I guess. mm, So, we have camp set up right now, so. mm, You know what? I'm gonna look into my bag and see this book that's in there,
Okay.
and I'm going to read the health potion recipe book out of curiosity because, you know, I'm just curious as to what it is.
Okay. All right. So you whip out the book and you turn to this specific section about health potions and you begin studying it and reading it as your companions, one has fallen asleep and the other seems to be stoking and playing with the fire while keeping enough light to see around and see the close surroundings. Uh, he also seems to have a pole that's got a line in the water. So maybe he's trying to catch some food. Maybe he's a little hungry. Do you have any information about this health recipe book?
I know it has. I know you have to have life fruit and poppy seed,
There you go.
which is in my bag as well.
Mhm. So as you read, you do find that the ingredients are ones that you have. You also read that you must grind them to a powder together. And then using this powder, excuse me, uh, one must combine the powder with boiling water in the container one chooses to use and drink the potion from. And this part about the container seems to be important as it is in bold uh, and underlined. It also says that there should be a small amount of mana that is applied to the potion externally through the container to bring the potion to life and not just create murky water.
I see.
Would you like to give it a go?
Let's give it a go.
All right. I will say that in order to find your container, just do a quick investigation check for us.
Okay. Let's see. I got a 10.
Okay. So you don't necessarily find anything that's very big or perfect, but you do find a small jar that does have a lid that can be put on, and it does seem to be of decent size. Uh, you do pull out the ingredients needed and find yourself a nearby flat area and begin crushing these these herbs down into that powder. So go ahead and do a strength check for me.
Okay. My strength is a +0, so I got a 15.
Very nice. So you're able to grind it into as much of a powder as you feel you need, and it is quite powdery, but there is still room for further refinement. You take some water from the stream and you place it in the container, and you set a kind of a stand or a flat rock over top of the fire that your companion has started and is continuing to keep going. And you're able to set the jar on top. And after about 10 or 15 minutes, the water that's in the pot or in the jar has come to a boil. So we're going to go ahead and roll for medicine.
Okay. I got a 16.
So your water's come to a boil. You've added your ingredients, and interestingly enough, you are able to move it off of the hot stone. Jeez. You're able to move it off of the hot stone and onto an area that's easier to kind of manipulate and play with. And you begin trying to determine how exactly to produce or give mana from the exterior. Do you have any ideas or any attempts or processes that you would like to try?
Hmm. mm, would
Uh-huh.
uh I'm just imagining this and it sounds freaking funny.
Okay.
I'm imagining uh because I have these crystals, I just start like rubbing it against the glass.
Okay. So you're rubbing the crystals against the glass.
Yeah, but I don't
Okay.
think that's gonna help because they need mana as well.
Yep. Yeah. So as you're rubbing them against the glass, interestingly enough, they don't do anything. No, nothing changes within the jar, but the crystals grow at a very, very, very slow rate as you're focusing on that process, and your hands are very much involved in the movement.
Huh, that's interesting.
Your companion comes back from fishing and goes, "Hey, what are you trying to do?"
I'm trying to apply mana to this potion so that it works.
Oh, well, you're not gonna do it with the crystals there. You gotta barehand it. Do you know? Have you ever produced mana before?
Uh, no.
Well, I could have told you that. Just wanted to hear it for yourself. I don't deal with mana very much, but I've dealt with people that do, and I've dealt with some very skilled ones. And what they've told me is that the way that you produce the mana is you take whatever you're trying to put the mana into, or if you're trying to attack, that's similar process but slightly different mechanics. But you want to focus. You want to put it in between your hands if you're trying to put it into something like a container. You want to kind of put it in between your hands, not touch it, but just kind of hover them, and you want to focus on the product in terms of where you want it to go. You want to feel the flow as if coming from your chest down through your arms and out into the vessel that you're trying to put this mana into. And as you visualize that, since you haven't dealt with it, your body is not used to and doesn't have the muscle memory needed to generate and create it just off the top of your head. But if you continue that technique, then you'll reach a point where all you need is to move your hand in a particular motion and you'll produce mana at varying levels. And you'll be able to control that later on. But give that a try. Put the crystals away. You definitely don't need the crystals, although they are very pretty.
All right, I'll try that.
All right. Well, I just caught a couple fish. Would you like a fish?
Sure, I'll take a fish.
All right. So he stakes them up on his stick that he's decided is going to be how he cooks them, and he sets them next to the fire as he observes your next attempt. So go ahead and roll for Arcana.
Boy.
She goes, "Oi."
I swear to God. I got an 8.
So you follow the instructions that your companion has given you, and you begin to see a very small swirl happen within the jar. And this is very small, but you're able to see the ingredients beginning to move. And your companion quickly goes, there you go. You're working on it. That's good. He goes, take a short little break and try again. But this time, focus harder and feel that transfer. Like I said, like it's flowing from your chest through your arms and into that vessel. You've got this. You've got this. You've proven that you can. Now it's working on doing it enough.
All right.
I wish there was a way we could do all this in VR because it would be wholeheartedly one of the best things ever.
There is a way to do it in VR. I think you just have to pay for it.
Yeah, well, and everybody has to have a VR headset.
No, you
Yeah.
can do it through PC also. They have a PC version. Like they have it where you can just do it on your computer.
That's not the same.
Oh yeah, yeah. Hold on, let me just play VR on my two-dimensional screen. Oh
Exactly.
wait a second, that's a first-person game. Beautiful input, Quinn. Thank you. All right, one more attempt, Myra.
Okay. I did roll, but while you were talking, and I got a 15.
Perfect. All right, so this time, with the encouragement of your companion, your 15 has turned into a dirty 20.
Oh wow.
Yeah, well, he rolled a 5, so. Um, as you funnel and follow the motions, you feel this time. You can feel the energy. You can feel that magical power transferring down through the arms, out through your hands, and into this jar. And as the ingredients begin to swirl, they swirl faster and faster. And instead of being a murky water, they now begin to take a very colorful hue and color to them. And as it spins faster and faster, and you see these ingredients mix fully, a reaction happens, and there's a small little flash as the potion finishes successfully, and you are left with a jar of a very bright red glowing potion.
Okay.
You check your book, and this is all true and in line with what your results should look when successfully creating a health potion.
Let's go.
Congratulations. You've you now are able to make up to 5 health potions if you decide to take a short break.
Okay.
And you do not necessarily need a specific container. Any container will do.
I do have a cauldron.
There you go.
Alright. Well, I will be taking that short break.
There you go. So as you take your short break, I'm assuming you're crafting your 5.
Yeah.
All right. So you're recovering your mana as well. You've crafted another 5 with your ingredients, and your companion is very impressed with what you've been able to achieve. And after you've made your 5th one, which now gives you a total of 6, he kind of leans over and he goes, I'm going to be honest with you. I've never seen anybody actually do that. I just read about it in books. That was absolutely magical.
Well, dinner and a show, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, the fish! I need to check on the fish. And he turns, and his fish, worse for wear, slightly burned. But the fish that he decides to give you is very well cooked, but it does taste delicious.
Nice.
And after your short rest, well, you begin to see the sun start to rise.
Oh.
What would you like to do?
I guess I would look to see if the other guy is stirring and waking up.
Currently at this point, no. Seems to be very sound asleep due to his positioning and amount of drool that is dripping out of his mouth.
Well, in that case, I would like to get out my pan flute and start playing it.
Oh. Go ahead and roll for performance.
Oh, boy. I have a +1 of that, which gives me an 11.
Nice. So your tune from the pan flute is very. Are we playing a cheery tune, a soothing tune? What are you feeling you're playing?
It's more of like an upbeat tune to kind of like, like, how you like rally the troops kind of thing.
Yeah. So a happy alarm is kind of what you're going for.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So you begin to play your flute. And 10 out of 10 pan flute playing.
Oh my god, we said it at the same time.
You're able to very pleasantly arouse the other companion from his slumber, and he does wake up, and through his sleepy eyes, he goes, is it time to eat already?
Uh, uh, does your I don't know if your friend here cooked you anything.
You glance over at the friend, and he just puts both of his hands up in the air, like, I don't know.
Well, I have some bread you can eat.
Yeah, the bread sounds nice. What is that? What is that lovely aroma? It smells like roasted fish, but there's something else. What else did you guys? Did you guys make fish last night?
Possibly.
Was there anything else that was made last night?
I may have made some, potions, but that's about it.
Oh, you're a potion brewer. I've never seen one of those. What kind of potions did you make?
Health potions.
Oh, we could use a few of those. We don't know what we're gonna come across, out here. We've been lucky. Apparently, up to this point, there's not a whole lot that lives in these woods, which slightly concerns me, but not enough to care. May I have a piece of that bread?
Sure. I would just like to point out that it's stale.
Oh, that's perfect.
Hand him one of my waffles.
Oh, gosh.
In the morning, he's making no waffles.
In the morning, we're making charcoal.
Because I
Well,
couldn't bake them waffles.
thankfully, he's still slightly sleepy. And since you guys have been gone for a few days, he's not too worried about how the food is condition wise, and he enjoys the stale bread all the more.
It's one way to get rid of it.
I would agree. Well, both of your companions at this point, they've had a decent little meal. They are awake and they have now broken down the camping area and are getting ready to begin their journey further up the river. Anything you would like to do at this point?
um. mm, I would say probably not at this point, no.
Okay. Well, the two companions begin to head on further up. They turn around and they say, "Well, you're in charge, so make sure that we're headed the right way and make sure that that map continues to grow. Trace this thing all the way to its roots."
All right. I guess I'll check the map and see if we're headed in the right direction.
All right. Go ahead and we'll do a perception check.
I got a 12.
Well, you're not too entirely able to precisely place where you are on the map, but by quickly glancing over to the current of the water, you are able to determine which way is upstream. And since you know your goal is to find the source of where the water is coming from, you're pretty confident that if you keep moving in the direction that your companions are moving in, you're going to get to your destination.
Okay. We have a heading. And the direction of the current.
Sounds good. So you guys begin to head off up the river, around the S bend that you had seen, and we'll slide on over to Mr. TJ, who is on top of his mayor building in search of the fleeting creature. Now, for you, you've stayed up here quite a while. You've stayed up all night. You haven't seen any movement. You haven't heard any screams. You haven't heard anything. And honestly, it's been rather difficult to stay awake. The only thing keeping you awake is the fact that you don't sleep. But for some reason, you feel slightly tired at this point. What would you like to do, sir? Riveting stuff. Did you go and pray, TJ? Oh gosh.
TJ?
Oh, he's unmuted now. This is.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now.
I would like to look around for the void creature.
Okay. All right, so go ahead and roll for investigation.
I got a 14.
Okay. So although you've been keeping your eye out all night and haven't been able to see this void creature, within your dreary or drowsy state, again, although you don't sleep, uh, you catch a glimpse of behind one of the rooftops across the town. You catch the beady eyes that you had seen before, the purple glow, and they are intently staring back at you as if wondering whether you'll follow.
Are they staring at me?
Yes. You've made eye contact.
I would like to walk to it.
Okay. Currently, you are on your roof. So, how exactly would you like to walk? Are we walking off the roof?
I thought I was on the porch.
Well, you had teleported up to the roof because you were looking around. So, you could always teleport back down to the porch and then walk on.
I would like to teleport kind of like halfway to the creature if like as close as I can.
Okay. All right. So, you're able to get to about, I'd say, 3 or 4 roofs away, and the void creature has not moved. Is still very intently staring, and is interestingly enough able to follow you to the point where whenever you're looking at it, its eyes are locked on you. You're making eye contact even through your teleports.
I would like to bend down and kind of like motion it to come to me.
Okay, roll for persuasion.
That's a 20. What is my thing? Persuasion?
Yes.
22.
Okay. So you beckon over to the creature and make yourself small by crouching down, and the void creature drops down, or what appears to be drops down behind the roof, but then rises and appears on a slightly near closer roof. Now you're about 2 roofs away, and again, there's a small chimney, and it's hiding behind that, but locking eyes on you the whole time.
I would like to take out one of the rations that I have.
Okay.
I would like to kind of offer it to the void creature.
Okay. How are you going about offering this? Sticking your hand out and just holding it? Are we putting it down on the ground and taking a few steps back? Not so much ground, but the roof.
I think I don't have that long of arms. Jeez.
Hey, you never know. You never know. You just teleport to the ground and teleport back up.
I have to put it onto the roof in front of me, and then kind of back up and be like, "It's okay. I just want to talk."
All right, so go ahead and roll for persuasion again.
Can I be just as persuasive? Maybe. Maybe not. Let's not throw it off the desk. That is a 17.
Okay. All right. So you set your ration down. You back off, continuing to maintain eye contact. You kind of mutter, not very loud, but you mutter that it's okay. You're just looking to have a conversation, and again the creature disappears and sinks down into the roof, disappearing, but then reappearing now one roof away. And now instead of the eyes continuously locking onto you, you find that they are every now and again distracted by the ration that's on the ground. They do their best to maintain their gaze at you, but every now and again it glances over since you're not right next to it, and it does seem to understand that.
I would like to sit down in kind of a crisscross position and kind of motion to it again.
Okay. Go ahead and roll for persuasion.
That is another 17.
Wow, 3 good rolls. Well done. So this time it's the void creature is getting more curious. And instead of disappearing and reappearing on your roof, it actually runs across the roof that it's currently on. And although it's not too terribly far away from the roof you're on, it is still a decent jump, but the void creature is able to make it, and it lands on the other side. No
I'm
noise.
usually tense at this, worried about it.
Okay. The creature is not so much worried about your reaction as it is now about the ration, as it seems to think that with you sitting down, you cannot move with the same quickness as if you were standing up. It latches on to the ration and sits down as well, locks eyes on you while it munches, and you get a better look. And it seems like it's a voidling or a child from the void realm. What would you like to do?
I would like to try to talk to it.
Okay. How exactly would you like to try that?
I'm sorry if I scared you earlier. I just was trying to get something back for one of the townspeople.
The creature uh, doesn't seem to understand what you're saying. Continues to eat, doesn't respond, but makes a rather quick, short sentence that you identify as Endarian or Ender language. You're not sure what it said, but you picked up on a word or two. And those words were finding and sorry.
I would like to talk in Endurian and say, are you alone?
The eyes of the creature grow slightly bigger. The ration eating slows down, and the creature turns as if amazed that you know the language, and responds in the language, saying, "Mm, yes, but I'm not supposed to. So I have to find the others. Have you seen any more of me?"
You're the only one I've seen. If you promise not to run off, I can help you.
But what if they're not here? Then I have to run off. I must find the
If I
others.
find if I find them, how will I know where you are to tell them?
That's a good point. But I must find the others. Our mission required all three of us. But when they sent us, they didn't send us to the same place. The system must have messed up. And I don't know. I have yet to see anybody that looks at me without any kind of disgust. I'm not like them, but I still feel the same hunger for some reason. Maybe a part of the work process.
Well, I mean, I I understand people looking at you weird. I'm not exactly normal either.
That's why I was perplexed. You look like you're from the homeland.
Do you mean the void?
Yeah. Well, a part of the void. Void is a big place, as I'm sure you know.
Yeah, the void seems to go on forever.
It does. There's always something new. That's where I come from. A special part of the void that's developed the ability to trans-dimensional travel. We
What
were
about
sent.
transporting on a singular plane?
It's difficult to do different planes. You need multiple devices placed in very unique locations. And that's our goal. That's why three of us were sent, was to build um, a device here on this dimensional dimensional plane so that we could access the next plane.
That sounds like a lot of work.
It very well may be, but the results will be much better. Plus, we'll be able to get home. The only downside, when you trans-dimensional travel, you need 2 points. We only had one, so we could send one way. If you ever want to get back, you gotta link it up.
Well, is there anything I can do to help?
Well, I'm looking obviously for my two other friends. So any information, obviously you don't have any right now. You've already explained you haven't seen anybody but me. But if any of that happens, I'll stick around and we'll see. Maybe they'll pop up. Uh, but in the meantime, do you have a lot of resources like wood or sand, water, uh,
I
more of
try to
these?
steer clear of water.
Wow, you can contain it without touching it. We learned that.
So
but we need the water to mix with the sand and the dirt so that we can make something that when dried will be hard. And that will allow us to build what we need to generate the correct structure that's needed for this. You also wouldn't happen to have any big crystals like the size of this house. And he points down to the building that you currently are on, which currently stands at or around 12 feet high and about 30 foot long.
No, but I know how to get one.
Oh, really? That's one of the hardest things to find.
Well, I say get, but I really mean make.
Either way, if it's something that's obtainable, then that's a big step. I understand maybe why I'm in the area now.
Well, I'll have to talk to my friends because I don't have anything to make it on me, but I know how to make it.
Ah, your answers are getting less and less confident as we go along. Are you sure you're going to be able to provide this?
Yeah, I just gotta get one of the crystals from them, and then I can make it. It's hard to explain.
I just got to make a phone call. Um. Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna take this ration because that's delicious.
You want to eat
And by all means, if you have more, I haven't eaten in at least 3 months.
I like to pull out another ration and kind of give it to him.
Okay. So how do you kind of give it to him?
Kind of like set it down to where he doesn't have to like get too close.
Okay. He very happily picks it up, and as he's not fully finished with the current one, he takes it in. He puts it in his vest type thing, and it kind of disappears into his body. And he thanks you for the gifts and for the help, and then kind of falls into a small black hole that shows up underneath his feet. And he now is no longer on the roof with you. What would you like to do?
I like. Did he leave the teddy bear?
He did.
I would like to grab the teddy bear and go back to the mayor's office.
All right. You return to the mayor's office now with teddy bear in hand. What would you like to do?
Um, I would like to grab a piece of paper and write a letter that says, "Found the teddy bear, the mayor." And I'd like
All
to
right.
send it off to the individual that
Okay.
came asking for it.
Okay. Go ahead and we'll make a roll, and we will apply our intelligence.
Oh, that's intelligence, not investigation. Jeez. That is a 19 plus 1.
Dirty 20?
Yes.
Oh, very nice. So you're able to write a very legible note. And it says everything that you need to. And as you finish your note, the gentleman who came asking for and letting you know about the thief and the theft that occurred, he comes knocking on the door. Mr. Mayor!
I like to open the door with letter and bear in hand, like I'm going to take care of putting the letter in the mailbox, but he's right there, so I just kind of hand it to him.
Oh, Mr. Mayor! Oh, you found it! Oh, thank you. Thank you. Oh, it's unharmed. Awesome. Awesome. What?
A very kind soul found it and was keeping it safe for you.
Well, a very kind soul, as you say, stole it. I don't know how kind that soul can be, but
They
I'll
said
get
they
this.
found it.
Did they?
Yeah. They
Wow.
didn't seem to understand how things work. You can't just take things if you find them.
That is a true point. That is a true point. I gotta say, do you want me to deliver the letter as well?
That was actually to you, and I kind of open it up, and it reads what I said.
He takes a look and goes, "Oh, actually, that'll be perfect. I'll take this back and I'll give it to my daughter, who's the owner of this teddy bear, and she'll like the note as well. She'll know that her mayor is looking out for her as he should.
I try.
Well, you've done a good job. And Namenkop thanks you for it, although small. I'll go head out and do that now. Currently, it doesn't seem like there's anything else dastardly going on." He turns around and he pleasantly walks with the teddy bear in one hand and the note in the other. What would you like to do now?
I would like to roll for history to see where the Jedi told me to go, or the mysterious figure with a cloak that gave me a rather light blade looking artifact.
Uh-huh.
I don't remember anything. I got a 5. Plus, what is my memory for history? Plus 1, so I got a 6. Solid.
Okay. So you remember that it was a long journey to get to where you needed to go, and that you needed to go somewhere in the northwest direction. I'm sorry, northeast. I apologize. Northeast direction. Outside of that, the name of the area, the name of the mountain escapes you, but you do remember that it was some type of mountain that you had to go to.
I gotta go pray, so I will end my turn there.
Okay, sounds good. All right, and we slide over to the boss lady, who very patiently is awaited her turn. So those have left you. Ricky and Julian have left you at the fountain, and since then, you've taken another small nap. You've woken up from that nap.
Is it still the same day?
Roll for investigation.
I'm assuming it is because
Roll for history.
because the timeline with everyone else has been roughly the same. History. I got an 11.
It is actually the next day.
It's the next day. So is it also the next day for everyone else too? Or does that only apply to me?
Well, so far it applies to Myra. It applies to Quinn,
Okay.
and it applies to Bubba, but he hasn't figured that out yet.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure. Next day, roll for perception to see how they did on the flyers. Might as well just go back to sleep. I got a 1.
No.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yep.
All right.
I can roll again.
So you do actually you're rather full of energy.
Okay.
So you begin to take a walk around, and you notice that these flyers have definitely been put up.
Okay.
Unfortunately, they are backwards,
Shocker.
and the blank side of the paper is facing out. And there seems to also be 2 to 3 flyers on every possible surface.
Surely there's someone that's curious in this town that's like, what is this? That would pick it up and like look at it. Surely.
It does so happen to, while you're observing this chaos, be a gentleman that comes walking up to you specifically with flyer in hand and goes, I'm with the newspaper here at Namen Cop. What are your opinions on these everywhere? Have you seen anybody putting them up? Because they're a tad annoying.
You know, it's in my opinion, I think this is very creative marketing. And I want to roll for persuasion to get him to agree with me. That is very creative marketing.
Do you want to... The way you said that, do you want to roll for persuasion and
yes.
intimidation?
Just persuasion.
Okay.
My persuasion is +1. 4.
You continue to be persuasive through this, and the newsman actually begins to agree with you.
Okay, thank God.
I do believe it is creative marketing, but I will say I think it's one step below, because whoever did it, as you can see, they put the wrong side of the flyer facing out.
Right, but...
So although creative, not doing the greatest job.
But...
What's even on these?
Exactly. That is the point of the marketing. You flip it over and you're like, what is this? It gets you to look at it. And I roll for persuasion. What was my modifier? Got a 7.
7. So you're a little more persuasive. You can see he's definitely starting to come around. And he's going, okay. That sounds like you might have something to do with these flyers. Did you put them up?
I did not put them up. However, I prove for them to be put up. You see, I have a very handy man that is very handy, and his skills are worth paying for. And I roll for persuasion again. Yeah, I got 16.
So he's extremely persuaded by this, and actually flips his flyer over and begins looking at it more in depth.
See?
And he goes, oh, I didn't notice that. That's very interesting. They
Mhm.
do a lot of things.
They do a lot of things.
There's even a contact number.
Yeah, you should. If you need anything to be fixed, you should contact that number. And you know what? Since you're a newspaper guy, this is a great opportunity for you to put something in the newspaper to get the word out about how handy this guy is.
I like the sound of that. And by doing that, we can overlook the terrible flyer placement.
It's creative marketing.
Yeah, sure. They've been up for a day.
Surely someone in this town, such as a great gentleman as yourself, would have flipped it over. We're just looking on one part of town. We haven't gone to the other part of town to see if any of the flyers have been taken. But you're a busy newspaper man, so do you need to get back to your office to finish up this article about this great handyman?
Well, the thing about newspapers is I need more than one article to run a newspaper.
Oh, okay.
But this will definitely be going in tomorrow's.
Yeah, and feel free to scan a copy of it and put it in the newspaper, and we would really appreciate your help on this. Really get the word out even more.
Yeah, it's definitely a good service that you're offering here. I will, how long do you want your ad to run?
Um, I don't know. How long is there?
How much? So to run an ad, it costs 1 gold piece per day.
Oh, I thought you were writing a story, not running an ad.
Well, if I'm scanning this copy with, I don't know how to scan it, but if I were to put this in my newspaper, as it currently is, this is not an article. This is an ad.
Oh, okay, fair enough. And you can write your amazing article, and then it can point to the ad, and it'll play off of each other. So you're saying it was 1 gold piece for how long?
For 1 day.
For one day. I consult my inventory. Can we do a week? Do a week. We'll start with a week, and then if we need a refresher, I'll get with you again.
So 7 gold.
Yeah, we'll do 7 gold for a week.
Okay. I'll do that. You got the gold on you now?
Yeah, I do. I open up my inventory and I give it to him.
I open up my inventory. So you put your hand in your pockets.
Yeah.
And you pull out 7 gold pieces and you hand it to Mr. Newspaper Man. He takes it, walks on, and goes, "Well, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, ma'am. And might I suggest taking these down? Because if they're up for too long, you may be meeting the mayor about harassment."
Okay. You know what? I'll go and I'll have that discussion with the mayor now.
Okay. Sounds good. And he continues to walk on. What would you like to do?
Well, I'm worried about the whole harassment thing. I was just kind of like, that's getting in my head. Okay. So I'm like, I need to go talk to the mayor. I know the mayor. We need to have a discussion. I need to make sure he's okay with this.
Okay. So you head on over to the mayor's house. What would you like to do when there?
I'm at the mayor's house or the mayor's office?
Office, house.
It's the same thing?
Same thing.
Okay. I'd like to knock on the door.
Okay. How exactly do you knock on the door? Here's
A knocking returns to the door. Evan opens the door.
Hi. How's it going?
I found another creature from my home world.
Oh, that's cool. Will you take a walk with me real quick? and then I would like to show Evan the flyers.
Okay.
So, Mr. Mayor, you see, I'm trying to make money to keep the Wizards keep running, or the sheep sanctuary running, and so I had some of the renowned apprentices named Ricky and Julian hang up some flyers to offer some services. Um, what do you think of all these flyers?
TJ, roll for investigation.
If I can grab the right dice, not a D6, I need a D20. $17.
So you see a lot of flyers. Like a lot of flyers. Like more flyers that you've ever seen in your whole life.
What about the flyers? There's a lot of them.
There are. I just wanted to make sure that you're okay with the volume of flyers because we're just really trying to get the word out, and I just wanted to get your blessing that it's okay that these stay up for a period of time.
I mean, you might want to have a little bit less flyers. You're completely covering a cat, and I point to a cat that's completely covered in flyers.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, I let them have creative freedom, as you can tell, but I will definitely give them your input and tell them to avoid the cat next time and any other animal that may or may not have flyers on their bodies. And maybe it could be some extra protection. If it rains, their fur won't get as wet.
I mean, I don't know. It seems like a protected animal. I would like to bend down and just unwrap this cat.
The cat.
Try to unwrap it anyway.
Oh gosh. Roll strength.
I regret saying try. Oh wait, no, I have a +2. Okay, I got a dirty 10.
Okay. You're able to remove all but one of the flyers, and upon removing the last flyer, you do unfortunately without a small tuft of hair. Are you okay? Did you fall? Are you fighting your bike?
Sorry,
Anyways,
my microphone fell.
so you were fighting your bike.
Somewhat.
Anyways, so yeah, you get all but one of the papers off of the cat, but as you pull the last one off, you do remove a small tuft of fur, and the cat and runs off.
Well, I'm sure he feels 10 pounds lighter.
Yeah, a little.
Yeah. So as long as I have your blessing that these flyers are okay, I can always call Ricky and Julian to come back and take some of them down, just to reduce some of the volume. Um, yeah, just wanted to make sure I got your blessing.
I feel like that would be fine. Just be careful where you put them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I will give them that input.
It's a nice night out.
It,
The sun.
it is. It is a nice night out. Is it night time?
No, it's daytime.
Roll, both of you roll for investigation.
You forget the void is only night, so he just assumes it's always nighttime.
I got a 15. I think it's a daytime there, Evan, Mr. Mayor.
I got a 13.
So TJ, you think it is midnight, and Boss Lady, you think that it is midday.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and I point to the sun in the sky. And I go, that's the sun. I don't think that's
the
the moon.
That's the moon.
That's a really bright moon.
You've never been in the void.
No, I
Pure
can't
darkness.
say that I have.
TJ, you do identify that the moon is also very bright.
Kind of brighter than usual, I suppose.
Yeah, maybe it's just feeling more inspired.
You know, I did help some people. Maybe I inspired it to be better.
I could believe that. But yeah, ever since you've become mayor, the moon has been so much brighter.
I just kind of smile.
Your confidence has been boosted, TJ.
Let's go.
You have now gained advantage on your next 3 rolls.
Let me write this down before I forget. So, do you need anything else? Or are you heading back to Tom's?
No, I think that's all that I needed. You said you're going back to Tom's, or are you asking me if I'm going back to Tom's?
Well, you asked me to walk with you, so I assumed we were going somewhere.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Let's walk, and I can show you the rest of the flyers, and we can go to Tom's, and we can enjoy food or drink or whatever have you.
I would like to investigate one of these flyers.
Okay. So you grab one of the ones you pulled off the cat.
Are we walking while we're doing this?
You are walking while you're doing this
To Tom's.
to Tom's. Specifically, the one that you're looking at has the tuft of cat fur on it. And you notice that it is a flyer for handiwork as well as gardening. And all that's written on the flyers is, if it's broke, we'll fix it. If it needs fixing, we'll do it. Pay us now, or
Pay us now.
don't pay us now. And then at the bottom it says, contact Ricky or Julian at 555 we help.
I like to look to Nova and be like, you guys got a great slogan here.
I know, right? Like the guys, they came up with that on their own. They're creative souls and handy souls. What can I say?
And about this time you see Ricky and Julian walking past.
Can I reach out and grab one of them?
Sure.
What am I rolling for?
You're not rolling.
I'm not rolling.
You're flipping a coin.
I'm flipping a coin.
Here.
I just imagine she falls on her face. Just, hey, get over.
Heads.
You got heads?
Yeah.
So as you reach out, you grab Julian,
Okay.
who turns and goes, oh, hey, boss. Hey, we just got done putting up all the flyers for you.
Grab Ricky. Because I'm assuming that Ricky's still walking.
Oh, all right, Ricky. Ricky turns around, goes, well, I was wondering what you did. You stopped walking.
Yeah, Ricky, Julian, I would love for you to meet Mr. Mayor.
Oh, hey, Mayor. What's going on? Hey, we're the ones that put all these flyers out. If you got work, we got work. Hers.
I actually do need you guys to tone it down on the flyers just a teeny bit, because the cats and stuff don't exactly like flyers on them.
Yeah, let's stick with doors only, guys, and pillars and like telephone poles or just poles, just not any living animals.
Everywhere else is
Well,
fine.
we're done with the flyers. We ain't got no more flyers. Plus, that's mobile advertising right there. That's gonna run around. It's gonna take it around to all of the back alleys. That's where most of your people are gonna be sitting at. That's a good way to do it. You got a cat, jump up on your fence while you're gardening. Bam, flyer for gardening right then and there. That's a brilliant idea. Don't sit there and say that my idea is bad. But we're out of flyers, so yeah, sure, we'll stop putting out flyers.
I look at Evan and I say, "See, creative."
You know, I gotta agree. Just make sure they can still breathe and get around, okay?
And then I grab Julian and I go, "I forgot to give this to you yesterday," and I hand him the 10 grand. And I look him in the eye with intimidation.
Roll.
Roll. I knew it was coming.
Can I roll again?
What did you get?
I don't want to say. Oh my god.
Can I roll to be naturally intimidating? Just standing behind her.
Well, you are the mayor, and you get advantage if you decide you want to roll.
I got
That's
a
what I'm
1
asking.
for 3. So I got a 4. So I could use the bear's help.
She got a 1.
Don't worry, I got this.
Swear to God, she gets a
Where did
1.
my dice just roll to?
It's a 0.
No, it rolled off the stinging table. Oh, it's under my chair. Gosh dang it. Well, that's a 19, so at least a 19.
With advantage.
And that's a 1. So I got a 19 plus 4.
Wow.
I got
He
a
actually rolled a
23.
1. Imagine
That's
both of
my
you
luck,
get
man.
ones.
That is my luck.
All right,
I
so
look him in
Luckily,
the
I'm
eye
lucky.
and I say, "Make sure this gets back to this wizard's keep and in the bank, okay?"
and he goes, yeah, no worry, boss. And then as he
He's
says
purple-eyed
that,
staring at him.
he does kind of look up and he does see the mayor staring at him rather menacingly.
He just said it
And
more
you see
menacingly.
him look back down at you and go, I got you. Don't worry. Can we use some for some food for like the next 2 or 3 days?
Yes.
Can we bring food
Yes.
to and then
yeah,
put the rest
Yeah.
away?
Just no eating sheep, okay?
Okay.
This
I would
money is.
actually like to.
Okay.
Oops, sorry.
Do you understand?
Yeah, I
I'd like to
got
pull
you.
out-
Okay.
oops, sorry.
You
I'd
go.
like
What's
to
up?
pull out 500 gold and give it to them here for food.
What do you say,
Ah,
guys?
well, thank you, Mr. Mayor. And Ricky comes around and is now the happiest and cheeriest guy. Goes, oh man, you're just the best, Mayor. I always knew you were a good guy. I'll definitely make sure. I'm gonna start taking down some of these flyers here. Yeah, it really is a lot of flyers. And he starts walking around. He starts ripping the flyers off of the pole, and he rips one off of the guy's shirt that's standing on his front doorstep. He goes, I just want to just make sure, just let them know if they need some work. We got workers. So, we can definitely do that for you. But, I always knew you were a nice guy. I just want to thank you. You're just one of those good guys. I could see it from the start, and we could just do that. Yeah. You're a great guy. Awesome. Cool. Julian, can I talk to you over there? And they walk off.
I look at Evan. I say, "Thank you, Evan. That was very generous of you."
I mean, I don't really need gold.
I mean, you are the
I
mayor.
got everything I need. I got friends, I got food, and clothing.
And indeed, that was a good time. And I'm assuming we're still walking to Tom's. Are we there yet?
Well, now you started walking to Tom's
Oh, okay.
because you stopped to talk to Julian and
Oh, right,
Ricky.
right.
Unless
No,
you were.
okay, the entire time we're talking to them, we're just walking away and they're following.
No, then I pictured it in a moment.
Okay. Yeah. So you start walking again,
Okay.
and so you're getting your way to the Salty Spittoon, and you're still coming across all kinds of flyers. You're noticing that he hung them up with people's laundry. They're on their laundry lines. He's slid them in underneath people's little front door rags, the front door mats. He slid them underneath there. All of these being upside down or backwards to where the blank side is what is exposed and not the lettered side.
Creative marketing, man. Creative marketing.
What would you like to do?
Are we close to Tom's?
You do see the Salty Spittoon, yes.
Oh, okay. So, Evan, what are you hankering for? You want food? You want a drink? You just want to chill?
I think I should probably talk to Tom.
Yeah, it's been a while since we talked to him, so. But yeah, I was gonna say food or drink, it's on me. Whatever you want, bud.
Actually, I thought we had free drinks at the Salty Spittoon.
Oh, yeah, good point. Tom's kind of been taking care of us, hasn't he?
Yeah, I'm actually kind of feel bad with how much free food he's been giving. That one day, quite a few of us ate quite a bit.
Yeah, I would agree. So, yeah, let's go see Tom and enjoy each other's company.
Okay. Just
And about
gonna
that
start
time,
skipping the rest of the way.
I skip with him.
Skip to the move.
both roll for athletics.
Ooh, 18 plus 1, 19. Mm.
Wow.
I'm so glad I have advantage.
What did you roll?
The first time I got a 1.
I was hoping for that. What was the
Second time I
second
got a
one?
16 plus 2.
There you go.
All right, cool. 18. All right, so you both very successfully skip your way over to the Salty Spittoon. TJ, you actually do dodge a pebble in the road that would have landed you face first in some of the yak manure.
Whoa, great dodge there, man.
He was very
Very
focused
Yeah,
on missing that.
yeah.
And so you guys approach the Salty Spittoon and get ready to walk inside. So, and that's what we'll leave you guys for now.
Because I got
Uh-huh. And slide back over to Bubba, who is still in the cave with the Behir. And you are walking back to the Behir, yes?
Yes. Oh, there we go. Yes, I
All
am.
right. So you've arrived at the Behir at this point, and Behir is still passed out. And you're starting to realize that this might be an opportunity if you want to take it to get out or look for any potential treasure. What would you like to do?
I would like to look for any potential treasure.
Okay.
And also cave dust and the mushrooms.
Okay. All right. So go ahead and roll for investigation. You do have dark vision.
Yes, I do. Investigation. That is a dirty 20.
Wow. So you're able to locate around you quite a lot of cave dust. About, we'll say, 50 pieces of cave dust, 50 units, however you want to call it. and the outer rim of this room the Behir is in is riddled with the mushrooms, and so you're actually able to acquire uh, about another 50 of those before you decide that you've had enough.
So 50 grams of cave dust and 50 mushrooms.
Yeah, that works.
All right.
Just be careful how you say cave dust and 50 grams.
All right.
What do you mean by
Oh.
that?
I'd like to do a perception check to see if the button is visible from around the Behir or if it's still under him.
Okay.
Or would that be investigation?
A perception.
Perception.
I mean, it would probably be investigation, but as you're looking around and investigating and collecting,
29.
we'll do the perception. You said what?
29.
29. Of course.
19 plus 10. Sorry.
Hey, it is what it is. So as you move your way around, collecting the dust as well as the mushrooms, you're constantly checking around the here for the button, and there is a small point where you are able to locate the the small red sign of that button, and it does look like it is rather flat, and it does look like there is a very small little rodent that is next to it, as if holding it and had been crushed by the impact.
I'm sorry, little guy.
What would you like to do?
Can I grab the button?
You can, yes, but you'll have to make a strength check because it is still slightly underneath the Behir's foot.
Right. So the Behir's asleep, right? Let me check my spells.
Yes.
I want to see something. So I have a spell that I can conjure animals. All right.
Okay.
And I can summon one beast of challenge rating 2 or lower, and I would like to summon a giant constrictor snake to constrict the Behir.
Okay.
Do you need
Roll a.
stats on that?
But, huh?
I said, do you need stats and stuff for that?
If you have something you can send me, sure.
All right, let me do
But
that.
I just need you to roll a d20.
Yep. I'm gonna copy this really quick and send it to you.
Uh huh.
Discord, where is my DM decree? I've messaged other people since then. There it is. It is a 15.
Okay. So although this is your first time, you are calm enough and are able to conjure the snake that you desire, and it begins to wrap its body around the Behir and begins constricting it. This does wake the Behir up, and a very loud, "What is this? What is this? What do you do? You have served me. You have."
Don't choke him out, snake. Just let him breathe. Just keep him where he's at.
The snake does respond and release just enough pressure where he's able to talk. What is the meaning of this?
You were passed out, okay? And I didn't want to ensure, I wanted to just ensure that you didn't attack me when you woke up thinking I did something to you.
Is this your snake?
This is my snake.
And it's constricting me
Yes.
and was choking me, but you made it stop.
Yes. I didn't want to harm you. I just wanted to make sure you didn't, like, Because I don't know how you are when you wake up exactly.
Dude, do you constrict all the people around you when they're sleeping and they wake up?
People know. Giant creatures I'm not sure of? Yes.
Oh, so you're just a racist. That's what it is.
No, I'm careful.
Yeah, same thing.
And that wouldn't be racist, would it?
Uh,
'Cause I wouldn't
different
I would
species,
I wouldn't
not
consider I
yours.
wouldn't consider that a racist thing.
Am I not a race to you?
I thought you were a species.
Is that not? Is that not the same thing?
No.
You're glad. You better be glad I'm constricted right now.
As I talking to him, I like to go grab the button.
You very easily collect the button, which is squished flat currently.
Yep, it won't be for long.
Uh,
So Mr. Bahir, um, I have a head for you from what you told me to do.
oh, you do.
Yes.
So you did have somebody following us,
Yes, I did.
and you dealt with them.
Yes.
Let me see the head.
I walk over towards the entryway of the cave and pick it up by the hair.
Hmm. Chubby fellow.
I think he said his
Did he
name
have
was
a name?
I think he said his name was Jim as I sliced his head off.
Hmm. It's an odd name.
I agree.
Jim. Very odd.
Almost sounds like an office worker style name.
Was he difficult to defeat?
He put up a slight fight, but then I think I wore him out because
Oh,
he just slumped over against a wall.
oh. Did my hands help any?
Uh, they were crawling on his arms. Yeah.
Yeah,
How
they did
exactly
that.
do you get them to do that?
Uh, telepathy.
Oh,
Yeah, it's difficult. They do have a mind of their own.
so if I stop my constrictor snake, will you be fine or?
That depends. I mean, you've done what I've asked, but you've also almost killed me in my sleep.
Well, actually, all I did was tell it to hold you. It decided it wanted to constrict you completely.
Uh, isn't this a boa constrictor?
Yeah, but it should be able to control how much it constricts.
Or wouldn't the default be constrict?
I guess, but it
Yeah, that's
didn't.
probably why it was constricting me.
You're still alive. I mean, I could get to by snapping my fingers.
Ah, well, all right. Didn't realize you had the power.
I have more power than you think I do.
Oh, now we're having a pissing match, are we?
I snap my fingers and the snake starts constricting. And I snap them again to stop it.
That's how you assert power.
No, that's just some of it.
Oh, that's just some of it.
Have you heard of an Afriti?
An Afriti?
An Afriti.
Yeah.
Are you a fan of them?
You're getting very big for your shorts, I can see.
I mean,
Your chest is starting to puff out. Do you mean to do that?
maybe.
Interesting. So, the hunter, the hunted, has become the hunter, who has indeed turned back into the hunted.
Sure.
I was talking about me, because I was hunted, but I'm clearly stronger than you. So I became the hunter. But now you've done turned this thing, and now I'm back to being the hunted, apparently. What happened to us trying to work together?
I didn't know exactly how you would react to you suddenly falling asleep and waking up, because I heard the thud as I was fighting. You suddenly just passed out.
I was tired. Sort of.
Alright. So, I have a question.
Uh-huh.
Is there anything in this cave that I should be worried about? Or, like, not worried, but, like, would be worth it to me?
You're looking for treasure.
Not exactly treasure, but I need something to prove that, you are... that I have seen you and have taken care of you. If you don't want to die.
How are you going to take care of me? You going to do my laundry?
No, they want me to off you.
Everybody wants to off me.
Well,
I'm a Behir.
we'll get their wish as I snap my fingers in the... But as in the constrictor snake continues to constrict.
The Behir begins to choke.
And
And
I
as he
like...
does so, he begins to try to fight back. And he casts Lightning Breath,
Alright.
which he exhales a line of lightning. It's 20 feet long, 5 feet wide. Everything in line must make a dexterity saving throw, which has a defense class of 16.
FYI, I'm still on the back right side of him. Unless
Wait,
he's... No, because I was
you've been
walking around
talking.
him. I've been walking around him.
Okay,
Haven't I?
I mean, I wasn't saying this was gonna hit you.
No, I know, I was just saying.
Oh yeah, you're just saying, yeah. After I was explaining the attack, you just happened to I just happened to
I should have
mention that
said I shouldn't have said anything, alright?
it's that you're just not in the way. All right. So as I said, everything that's in line with this attack has to make the dexterity saving throw. Has to be better than a 16, or else they take 20 damage. Since the only thing that's in line with that currently right now are a few bats, a few little rodents that are just normal cave stuff. All of those perish. At the same time as the lightning breath, there's also the swinging of the tail that attempts to attack and hit whatever could be in its area. For that, it is a 20-foot wide arc from behind the Behir. And those caught within must make a strength saving throw. That the defense class for that is a 13.
Well, no matter what I get, I'll pass it because I have a plus 12 due to my one of my necklaces.
Okay.
So
So if you don't
13
pass it,
plus 12, it's 25.
okay. So as the Behir is being strangled, uh, his tail is swinging as well as the lightning breath, and the tail comes flying at you. You're able to block it per se, and hold back the tail in itself as it thrashes back and forth, and you don't end up taking any damage. At this point, you've gotten close enough as well to the small tunnel in the back, and you are able to see a golden glint coming from inside of it. The lightning attack or the lightning breath has also started to do damage to the cave walls themselves, and pieces are starting to fall from the roof of the caves. What would you like to do?
So pieces are falling from the roof of the cave.
Yes.
All right. I guess I'll run out. Start. Actually, pieces are falling. Um, do I see an open area to be able to stab the uh Bahir in its heart?
Currently, you are behind the Behir, so you do not see any open areas currently.
Okay.
Plus, with the thrashing around, the ability to get up onto the Behir seems rather difficult and require quite a few athletic and dexterity checks
All right.
along the way.
So would it be easier for me to say shoot a short bow at his heart?
Well, since you're still back behind it,
I'm saying if I move to a position to where I can.
if you move to a position, range would definitely help because at this point, the Behir is writhing to try and get the constrictor off as it slowly asphyxiates.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, I mean, it's still going to be something where you're going to have to make a dexterity roll, and it will have to be above a 20.
All right.
But if you wanted to, you would be able to.
All right. So I'll. So would it be okay if I was to leave towards the front of the cave? No, because there's a. Hmm. Is it? I'd like to try to get towards like the little doorway. That's like where I came in, and then I guess just sit like not sit there exactly, but like stand around the corner to where I can make sure it dies, to where I'm not in the range of any of like the lightning or anything.
Okay. So you're wanting to be on the what I'll call the entrance of
Yeah.
this room, not the small passageway behind with the golden
Yes.
glint.
Oh, well, yeah, I meant the golden glint. For some reason, I
Okay.
thought I was closer to the entrance.
No, because you're on the back side of the Behir. The small tunnel with the golden glint is on the back side of the Behir. The entrance to the area, which is at the front of the Behir, that's where you originally came in and met the Behir. So
Gotcha.
that's where you would need to escape.
Alright, so I'll go towards the little cave area.
All right. So you're able to make it to the small passageway and get yourself inside. And as you round the corner, go ahead and roll for investigation.
Investigation. 19.
Okay. You're able to notice and stumble upon a rather large pile of gold and jewelry, crowns, as well as a small book labeled The Dark Times.
I'd like to take it all.
Okay. Uh, Now, as you do this, you will have to make a dexterity saving throw,
All right.
and this will help you to avoid the rocks that are falling from the cave roof as the Behir continues to writhe and be asphyxiated.
All right.
So
It
go
is
ahead and make a dexterity saving throw.
it is a 16 plus 13, so 29.
29. Okay.
Yes.
So you successfully dodge the first round of the rocks, and you're able to collect and throw into your bag 5,000 gold, as well as the book.
All right. And the name of the book is just
The
what was
Dark
it? The
Times.
Dark Times. Okay. All right.
All right. Would you like to leave now, or do you want to go for another attempt?
I'll go ahead and go for another attempt.
Okay. So go ahead and make another dexterity saving throw.
Dexterity saving throw. All right, that is a 7, so dirty 20.
Okay. All right. So this time, you're able to dodge most of the falling rocks, and you're able to collect yourself another 2,500 gold, as well as a very shiny crown. But there is one rock that does hit you on the top of the head, and you do end up taking 3 damage from that.
3 damage. Got it. Alrighty.
Would you like to go for another attempt?
Sure.
Okay. So same thing, dexterity saving throw.
26.
Okay. And so this time, there are quite a lot of rocks that are beginning to fall, and you are able to collect a little bit more and finish out collecting everything, and you collect yourself another 3,000 gold, as well as a couple golden goblets that are adorned around with small gems, sapphires, rubies, diamonds, such like that. And unfortunately, as you pick those up and throw those into your bag, you do see that the back end of this small cave is beginning to collapse. And so the rocks are now falling very quickly. They are hitting you, and you are now taking about 1 damage uh, every 5 or 10 seconds, since there are so many rocks that it is almost unavoidable.
Alright. How many gauntlets was that, by the way?
2
2.
goblets.
Alright. Alright, and I guess I will try to. I will try to run out.
All right, so go ahead and make an athletics check for me.
Athletics. Alright, that is a 17 in total.
Okay. What the heck? All right. So you are able to make it all the way to the front of the Behirs room, and you've taken 1 damage.
1 damage. All right.
The Behir still writhing. You can tell he's very close to death. And actually, as you turn to check on him, is when he breathes his last, and his body comes crashing down in your direction as the rest of the cave again behind him begins to crumble and break slowly. You've taken another point of damage at this point, but the head has hit the ground nearby and you were able to dodge to the side of it. But your snake is still constricting, and the head is next to you. Um, and you get a very good idea of how big this behir actually was, as the head itself is half your size.
All right. So is the cave still falling apart, right?
Yes, you've taken another 2 damage so far. So you're up to 4 damage taken.
All right. I would like to would I would like to try and get some of the scales or whatnot off the Behir to where I
You
can
have enough
improve.
time to remove 1 scale.
All right, I'll take a scale. Better than nothing.
All right, go ahead, roll a d20 for strength.
D20 full strength. That is a nat
You've
freaking
also
20
taken
plus
another
3.
3 damage so far.
23 with a nat 20.
Okay, so you're very successful in removing your scale, and it's actually very intact. And you've got what some would consider to be a perfect Behir scale.
Right? And
Right?
I will book it out.
Okay. So go ahead and we're going to roll a d20, apply athletics, and we're going to do that 3 times.
All right. It is a 12 plus 7, so 19.
Okay.
A 19 plus 7, so 26. And a 9 plus 7.
So 16.
16, yes.
Okay.
Right. My brain wasn't putting
So
16 together for some reason.
through the course of you exiting, you end up taking another 10 damage, but you do successfully exit the cave before the full collapse happens. And
Right.
as you exit the cave behind you, the last of the big rocks in the roof cave fall and crush all of the hands that were chasing you out to try and hold on and grab you to stay in an attempt to kill you. So in all, you've taken 18 damage.
All right. Okay.
But you have successfully escaped the cave. So with that, we'll slide over to Quinn. If he's still awake. He might not be. Is this the point where we sit here and go, Quinn, 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 for 5 minutes, and then we move on, and then 10 seconds later, he's like, I'm here.
No, we'll move on, and then we'll end, and then he'll be like, oh, I was here still.
Oh, yeah, that's what it is. You're right. You're exactly right.
Peekaboo.
Peekaboo. All right.
Hey, Google, wake Quinn up.
Quinn, do you still have waking in your eyes?
No.
You read me.
Hey, Google, Play Never Give You Up.
Never gonna give you up. Never give you up.
Different song, okay?
Quinn.
It's a screamo song.
Sequin. Sequin.
Never.
R.I.P. headphone users.
Never gonna turn around and hurt you.
See, I was gonna take the Behirs head, but if it's half my size, I don't think I'd be able to.
Yeah,
You should have took his tongue.
Oh, yeah. Makes good stew.
Well, that's what I was thinking. Either like chop off a piece of his neck or chop off his head, but you know.
Could you imagine trying to tell somebody?
What are you eating? Behir stew.
Yeah, give us proof. Give us proof you've killed the Behir. Here's his tongue.
Here's his head.
Okay, all right. I don't. No.
Well, I got a perfect Behir scale, so you know, I don't think they're gonna be able to do
Yeah.
much. They're not gonna not
point.
believe me.
It's a very good point.
He's away on Eve Online. He's away on Eve Online. Like it shows 3 Z marks, meaning he's not playing, but he's there. He's
He is
online.
on Eve Online.
Yeah, he is, but he's
asleep.
Somebody go attack him. Somebody go attack him in Eve.
I don't have Eve.
I don't have.
I will sign up for Eve right now.
I might join you.
Just to go and
On
attack it.
D&D nights, we can be like, get over here. Get over here.
What are you doing?
Closing the window.
Why?
Ice.
Because I'm not
No.
shitty.
Yes. Okay.
Guys, this is not a sponsorship for Eve Online. We have no connections to it.
If you guys ever run across anybody by the name of the Jester or Quinn,
Hey, Quinn?
please their base.
Yes, if you're seeing this in
Gonna
the
get
future,
attacked
let
and
him know
gonna
it is
play
his
this
turn in
movie like,
D&D
"Quinn, you
right
ruined
now.
my
The whole
entire
place
day."
is going to be absolutely destroyed. You guys are going to hear about it tomorrow. You'd be like, I don't know what happened. I was attacked by like 10 different ships.
Everyone in the stinging call.
I
Mm-hmm.
don't know what happened.
Alright, he's not
Don't
here.
know.
All right, he's not here. So, Miss Myra,
Yes.
you and your companions have been. Dang, he left just straight up. He was there enough. What?
I disconnected him to where he can see that he's no longer in the call, to where he can rejoin.
Right, and then be like, "What are you talking about? I was here the whole time."
Correct.
You and your companions have been following the river for about half the day now. It's a little bit past midday. Um, you've successfully tracked and charted this river, and go ahead and make an investigation roll for me.
Okay, investigation. Let's see. So, let's see. 18.
All right. So as you guys round a bend in the river, that the space at this point is starting to get somewhat tight. The woods are very, very thick. Uh, there's bumpy, rocky terrain around you, and you've had to maneuver yourselves a couple times in very odd situations to get through. But as you round the last corner, you do find the source of this river. And interestingly enough, it is coming from underneath a massive, massive willow tree. And when I mean by underneath, I'm talking it is flowing out of from underneath the roots. There are a few exposed roots, and it is flowing from underneath those but the majority of the tree further back is planted. It is solidly in ground. And as you walk around to the back side, you notice that there is no more water past that point.
True.
So congratulations. You have successfully completed your task and found the beginning of the river. Your companions turn with shocked faces and go, "A tree?
So it would seem a tree.
A tree? A tree has produced all of that water?
I
Well,
guess so.
that just seems odd." Do you notice anything special about the tree?
It's big.
It is. It's very big. What kind of species do you think it is? And that's
It
when
look.
we.
Oh,
No, what? You were saying something?
I was just gonna say it looks to be a willow tree.
Oh, that's yes. Uh-huh. I knew the species was on the tip of my tongue, but I couldn't we've walked a lot today and
Yeah.
throughout everything. Yeah, willow. It is a willow. Wow. Maybe it's like some like secret willow, special willow, water willow. Ha 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 ha. The other companion looks at his friend in disgust. You better be glad that we've been walking for this long and we're this delirious. Well, what say you? Do you consider this to be the start of the river, or do you think it goes on more?
Well, judging by there not being any water behind this tree, it either comes from underground or somehow it comes from this tree.
Well, I'm okay with saying it comes from the tree. My feet hurt.
Okay.
Okay. And so you circle on your map where you currently are after charting the remainder of that bend. And you put above it what would you like to label this as?
The Ohark willow tree.
So you write down the Ohark willow tree. And your companions, they agree. They like the name. It's a good name. I gotta say, it's better than anything I can come up with. Well, I gotta say, I thought I was gonna name the river, but with a name like that, I think she's gonna have a lot better suggestions than us. Should we let her name everything? It's her first trip. Give her something on the map she owns. Companion agrees. They both turn to you and go, "Well, what say you? What are we going to call this river?"
Let's call it. Let's call it the Torchwing River.
Ah, the Torchwing River that starts at the Ohark Oak Tree.
Willow tree.
Willow Tree, thank you. I see, I'm already. It's been a long day. I like it. I like it. Go ahead and write down the name of that that river there along, a stretch of it, and we'll see if we can get out of these woods and find the nearest either town or road. Because I'm not trying to follow this river like this anymore.
Yeah, I'm sick of seeing this river as well.
Yeah, I've had to pee too many times because of the water running.
All right, and I write in bold letters across the river, Torchwing River.
It is now labeled the Torturing Torchwing River.
No.
Congratulations. You now successfully have your very own river in Rololia, which is the continent.
Let's go.
Go ahead and roll for investigation to see if you can find a way out.
I got a 13.
So you, with the help of your companions, well, not much help, are able to discern a thin area within the woods, and you begin working your way through them. And after a good amount of wiggling and maneuvering and chopping small saplings down to make room for the donkey, who magically has survived this entire trip, you are able to come up to a road, or what looks to be a road.
Oh, look at that.
One of the companions gets down on his knees and kisses the dirt path and goes, "Civilization! Oh, we're almost home somewhere. I don't know. Everywhere's home at this point. Oh, at least I know this goes somewhere that's not going to have briars and trees and... Oh, quite the mental battle, isn't it?"
Yeah, it is.
Well, here's the biggest decision. Left or right?
I'm gonna flip a coin.
Sounds good.
I guess left it is.
Sounds good. So you guys hop onto the road. You begin walking down the road to your left. You pass by beautiful, spacious fields. You pass by a few wooded areas and a small cottage or cabin that has a bordered yard, and the border is a cobblestone wall that goes around it. And it's got a little gate. And as the sun begins to get low on the horizon again, the companions kind of slow down as they approach this cabin. They go, dumb question, but kind of curious. Do you want to see if we could stay here for the night? Not really too keen on camping.
Yeah, we can try. Nothing else, we can just commandeer it.
No, I like the way you're thinking. Ha ha ha. She's ready to get home. She's feisty. All right. So how would you like to go about either commandeering or approaching this cabin?
Well, I always like to give it the good old first try and be nice. So I'm gonna knock on the door.
Okay. So go ahead and roll for persuasion.
Okay. Persuasion. Where's my persuasion? Okay. Okay, I got a 19.
Wow.
It's nutty.
You are very persuasive.
Apparently.
So your knocks on the door are met with a very kind response. Yes, yes, I'm coming. Yes. Hold on, yeah. No, stop yet. No, stop knocking. I got you. Yeah, hold on. She opens the door. Oh my, how are you? How are you all doing tonight? Oh wow, it is kind of low. Time flies when you have nothing to do.
Indeed. Yeah, we're doing fine. We're very weary travelers, and we came upon your cabin, and it's starting to get late, and we didn't really want to use energy to set up a camp because we're really tired, and we were just curious as to if we could stay here for the night.
And one of your companions from behind you says quite loudly, "Please!" The lady responds, "Well, I've, I don't see why I can't. You're not going to harm me, right? You don't seem like the type to harm."
I would not harm you unless you tried to harm me.
Well, fair enough. I probably do the same thing, to be honest. One of those things, attack or be attacked. Something like that. I don't know. My husband was better with those sayings than I was back when he was in the war.
Hmm.
Oh, it wasn't. It was not a big war. It's the Great Lint War of 3000.
I see.
Yeah, well, anyways, I can tell you more about the Great Lint Wars if you want to. Unfortunately, my husband passed away during them. So I have this whole place to myself, but you guys are more than welcome. You can tie the donkey up over there. She points to a small wooden pole that has a couple notches in it and allows you to tie off. And she goes, I've got some I've got some potatoes cooking. I don't have enough for all of you, at least cooking right now. I can grab a couple more, unless you guys have some stuff for some food or anything that you guys would like to cook. And I'll see if I can set up some bedding that might be a little bit better than the ground. How's that?
Sounds good, ma'am.
By the way, what's your name? Mine mine is uh mine is Sarah with three
Well,
A's.
oh, Sarah.
Yeah. Not many people get that part.
I am Enix, and these two are. I don't really know their names, honestly. I've been calling them Tweedledee and Tweedledum.
And they just kind of pop from behind you and go, and we're answering to that at this point. Well, nice to meet you, Miss Enix. I hope we have a enjoyable evening. And Tweedledum and Tweedledee back there. It's just what I'll call you. You all are welcome to stay as long as need be until you feel you're ready to continue on your journey. What kind of journey have you guys been on today? As she beckons you inside, and you Tweedledee ties up your donkey and takes a couple things off and grabs a few pieces of food to be cooked to try and add to what Miss Sarah already has prepared. So tell me, Miss Enix, tell me where are you coming from? What has you so packed and so weary after what seems to be only a few days, or I don't know how long you've been out, really. I just thought about that.
Well, we were trying to find the source of a river, which happened to be a giant willow tree.
Oh, you're talking that river over? It's over in those woods they're over across the road, but they're a little further up.
Yeah, that would be the one.
Oh, yeah, I've heard stories of the Wise Willow. Never heard of anybody actually tracking. Where did you come from?
We came from a little town called Numakop.
Oh wow, okay. That's quite down south.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I can see why you're weary now. Wow, my goodness. Well, let me check on the potatoes. Are you okay with potatoes?
I am perfectly fine with potatoes, as long as they're not poisoned.
Oh, if you cook anything long enough, it loses its poison.
Oh boy.
And she turns and opens up her little oven. She's been oven baking these potatoes. And they definitely are not the prettiest of potatoes. But it's a meal that you didn't necessarily have to prepare. And they do look decently edible. They do not look poisoned.
Perfect.
So as you, Sarah, Tweedledee, Tweedledum, tuck in for the evening, is there anything else that you would like to do?
Mm, no, I think that's about it.
All right. Well, you all begin munching down on the potatoes. Sarah brings out some juice that she has so that you don't have to drink just water, and begin sharing and swapping stories of the trip as well as what life is like in this cabin all alone. And with that, we'll slide over to TJ, who is with Boss Lady still,
Nova.
and you have entered into the Salty Spittoon, and the sun is beginning to set, and the Salty Spittoon is rather busy. The gremlins are running here, there, and everywhere, and you see Tom behind the bar, being the bartender he is. What would you both like to do?
Hey, Tom.
Oh, hey there, bud. Long time no see. I hear you're running quite the show up here. Hey, did you do anything about those guys putting flyers all over the place? I had to rip about 100 of them off the front door and the walls of my place. You got to do something about that. They can't be doing that.
Evan looks to Nova and says, "Yeah, we had a conversation with them. They're gonna do better."
Well, I hope so. That's very difficult, very annoying, very irritating. I even saw a couple cats and dogs running past that had 4 or 5 of them on them.
There was one that I found that was completely covered in them.
I could believe it. Well, what you hankering for? I got drinks rolling. We got food pumping. What's going on? We are busy.
I don't. I think I would like a pizza.
All right. You got any toppings you want on that pizza?
Pepperoni.
Sounds good. All right, let me get one pepperoni pizza for Mr. Evan. Anything for you, ma'am?
I'll get a pepperoni pizza too, please.
Do you just want to split a pepperoni pizza, or you both want an 8-slice pizza to yourself?
I'll take my own. I'm kind of feeling hungry.
All right. Make it 2. And you hear a little gremlin in the back. Aye, Captain. What would you like to do now?
Evan sits at the bar.
I'll sit next to him.
There's an adventurer that's sitting next to both of you who turns, and before you're able to start any conversation with Tom, he looks at Evan and goes, "Hey, you're the mayor, yeah?"
As far as I know, yeah.
Yeah. I've been looking for someone. I wanted to know if you know what if they've been here or not. They're kind of small, and they don't look necessarily like they belong in this kind of place, you know.
If you don't mind me asking, why are you looking for these individuals?
Well, now you know it's I'm just looking for one, but maybe there's more. That sounds like you know something. But I'm looking for him cause I'm trying to help them. They were in my village about a month ago.
Did they say why?
They said they had some
Bigger
business they were
family.
trying to do. They had some business. Have you seen them? Do you know if you've seen anybody that fit that kind of a description? Kind of an outsider, don't necessarily belong. Might be a little small, might randomly disappear.
At this point, I would like to teleport onto the chandelier. Like that?
Yeah.
Just me?
Huh. I could have sworn they came in here a couple days ago. I could have sworn this was the town. What about you, miss? You seen any weird little peoples?
I see weird things all the time. You're gonna have to be a bit more specific.
I just explained it to him. Kind of small, might disappear every now and again. Don't look like they belong. Look at your skin. They don't look like that. Kind of dark. Like really dark.
So you're saying it's him or it's not him?
Huh?
He just like you're describing our mayor.
Yeah, but like a lot smaller.
A lot smaller.
Yeah, like a lot, like a kid. Like kid
No.
size. Like kid size.
I've not seen anyone that fits that description.
Mo. Man. I gotta say. This kid's making it tough. All I want to do is help them. What? You sure you don't know anything, Mr. Mayor?
I mean, I can keep an eye out.
Yeah. Could you? I'm gonna stay in town a couple days. Keep an eye out, you know? They're looking for some special things. Trying to help them find those special things.
What all special things are they looking for? I'll keep an eye out for those as well.
All they told me was something about crystals. Something about crystals. They needed crystals.
Well, I'll keep my eyes out.
Oh boy. He kind of turns. He grabs his mug. And he takes a swig of his stuff, whatever the liquid is that's inside of it. He turns to the opposite side and begins talking to one of the other adventurers that are currently at the bar area. What would you like to do, Miss Boss Lady?
Mhm.
What would you like to do? Pizza has not come out yet.
Darn. I'll roll for perception.
Okay.
Okay. 10 plus. Oh my god. 15.
Okay. And what are we trying to perceive?
Anything.
Anything.
I'm getting sleepy, so I need DM help for guidance.
Hashtag cheat code mode.
Hashtag falling asleep. Hashtag can't think. Hashtag help. Hashtag ready for bed.
So you perceive that there's quite a lot of people that are out there in the Salty Spittoon main lobby area. But you also do notice that this man that was asking questions seems to have a rather tattered cloak on. It doesn't necessarily give you the greatest of vibes.
I nudge Evan and I tell him I don't have a good feeling about this guy.
Evan is currently
I'm
on.
pretty sure he's a gem thief.
I look up at Evan and I beckon to him to come down.
Becker.
Is that the word?
It's Becken.
Beckon.
I beckered.
I beckon to him to come down. Standing
Evan
firm.
teleports next to him.
I said what I said. I beckon him to come down from the chandelier.
Colonel Decker.
Well, as you becker, the gremlin comes out with both of your pizzas and slides them in front of you. There you go.
Thank you, Mr. Gremlin.
You're welcome.
Evan, food's here.
I teleport down. And
Now-
I kind of like lean over to Nova. I think he's a gem thief.
A gem thief?
Yeah. Think about it. He only was worried about the gems.
That's a good
That's
point.
the only thing he knew.
I don't have a good. I don't have. Oh, I have a strat. Hold on.
Don't be mad at me, but I
have a
lied. I
strat.
lied to him. I know who he's talking about. He's a friend of mine.
Where the fuck is it? Thieves' Camp. I'd like to use Thieves' Camp to see if I can get any more context clues on this guy. It's a secret code that thieves and rogues everywhere, and secret signs and jargon associated with it.
Okay. So go ahead and roll. And add investigation.
6.
6.
6.
So you do recognize on his tattered cloak that there are two different markings that seem to correlate to a bounty hunter or someone that is used to assassinate.
Interesting. I say to Evan, you see that symbol on his battered cloak over there? It's like a thing that says that he's like a bounty hunter or a bad guy. He's a bad guy. He's a bad guy.
I think TJ's mic busted.
Oh, wonderful.
Hello?
Oh, there you
Hello?
go. Now we hear him. Did you hear her?
Here we go. Barely.
I said, you see that symbol that's on his battered cloak?
Yeah.
It's a symbol that says that he's a bad guy. Like he kills people for money. I can't remember what it's called already.
Assassin.
Assassin. He's an assassin. Man, what's in this pizza?
Oh, so what I'm hearing is there's probably a bounty on his head, or at least a bounty to have him jailed.
On the little kid that he's talking about. That's what I'm thinking.
Well, if he's an assassin, isn't that illegal?
I don't know. You're the mayor. You make the rules.
I'm gonna say that's illegal.
Okay, then it's
Assassinating
illegal.
people doesn't sound nice.
Yeah. So it's illegal.
Yeah. And I kind of like throw my arms up in victory. Yeah.
Look at you making laws.
Evan's cheeks start to turn purple.
I continue to eat my pizza.
Evan begins to eat his pizza.
This is good pizza.
It is good pizza. So what are we gonna do about him breaking the law?
I don't know. You make the rules. What do we do with this guy?
Well, he technically hasn't broken any laws, but I don't think we want to let him assassinate somebody.
No. Well, do you want to jail him? Like, do we kill him? Is it okay if we kill him if we know that he wants to kill someone else illegally? Like, does that make it legal for us to kill him?
I feel like you would have to be a police officer
Do we have one of those?
or a soldier. We do have guards.
I used to be a soldier.
That's why you're intimidating.
Ah,
That makes sense.
that makes sense.
Maybe I should call the guards.
Yeah, yep.
Evan
I
kind
think
of just
that's a
looks
good
around
idea.
looking for a guard. I don't see any.
Did you try yelling guards?
That might alert the assassin.
Okay, yeah, good point. Um, do you know where your guards meet?
At the gate.
Okay, well, we could finish the pizza and then go to the gate and then huddle with the guards and then put a hit on that guy.
Wait, then wouldn't that make me break the law?
I don't know, you set the rules.
Is a bounty technically an assassination, or could you make a bounty to be an arrest warrant?
You could do that too.
I grab a napkin and I write on it, warrant for arrest, Mr. Assassin, for wanting to kill creature.
You should try
This
drawing
will
his
hold up in
face.
court. I draw. Actually, can I roll for performance to draw the face of this individual?
Yeah, roll for performance and then also roll for persuasion. Let's see if you are convincing.
What the heck is my performance? Is that a +5? No, it's a +6. Haha! Dirty 20!
Haha.
Very
Okay,
nice.
and then you said persuasion?
Yes.
Well, a 16 isn't bad, I suppose.
So your drawing is very well done, and it is pretty persuasive. In terms of what you're trying to do, but there are
I would
still.
like to.
Uh-huh. No, you're good. I was just gonna say there's still a couple holes within everything.
I like to beacon over a one of the gremlins.
We're just gonna mispronounce that word every way we can. First it's Becker, now it's Beacon.
I said it on purpose.
I know. Yeah. So one of the gremlins comes over and he goes, "Yeah, yeah, what's up?
Can you run this to the guards at the gate and tell them that the mayor needs them in the salty spittoon?
You want me to run that to the guy at the gate?
Yeah, I can pay you if you need.
But I work here. I gotta stay in the salty spittoon. You don't understand. You want to go take it to the guys? You can go take it yourself. I'm sorry, I can't do it. I gotta stay here. I gotta do stuffs. People need drinks. They need stuff cleaned up. Look, that guy. He's over there. Who knows what he's doing? Stuff just came out of his mouth that I don't think he's supposed to. See, now I gotta go deal with that. And he
Okay,
takes
well,
off towards the unfortunate gentleman that is spewing.
I'm gonna be right back. And I would like to teleport to the gate as quickly as I can.
All right. So you stand up and teleport, and as you teleport, that is when we will fade out of the mist,
Out of the mist.
Hanging on for dear life over here.
and we will continue on. In it probably won't be next week because I have